Hey, everybody. Happy Monday to you. I'm CJ LeMaster, your lead investigative reporter for WLBT, and also your host for the digital news desk here on WLBT. Plus, it's 1 o'clock. Time to get started on some of the stories that we have coming to you today. We have several of you in the Facebook chat right now, in the Facebook, watching our Facebook live stream. Also, some of you on YouTube as well, and our OTT app. Thank you to all of you for watching. Melissa Price saying hello, happy Monday, Melissa. Hope you're having a good start to your work week. Happy Monday to you as well. And so we really want to encourage everyone while we go through these stories today to just kind of share your comments. We'll definitely put these in the show and give you an idea of, we want to be able to have this be an interactive environment for you as we talk about some of the stories that we think that you need to be keeping an eye on. First, of course, we have been following this situation out of Michigan following the attack on that church service yesterday in Grand Blanc. The death toll now standing at 4 in that incident. Authorities say the FBI is treating the shooting as an act of targeted violence. First responders are continuing to comb through the charred remains of the church there to locate anyone who might still be unaccounted for. Authorities say the shooter set the fire using an accelerant believed to be gasoline.
We ask that members of the public share any information that would assist us in this investigation, and we encourage them to please report to the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI or tips.fbi.gov.
Now, the suspected shooter was killed in an exchange of gunfire with police in the parking lot of that church. At least 8 people were hurt, one still in critical condition. Here at home, the Belzona Police Department needs your help finding 3 people involved in stealing from a bank ATM Thursday. Now, these suspects are considered armed, dangerous, and a potential threat to public safety. Do not try to approach them under any circumstances. If you see them or know where they are, please contact the Belzona Police Department. And of course, we have a couple other people that are joining us here. Maddie Holt. Good afternoon, Maddie. Hope you're doing well on this Monday. And not to be outdone, Britt. Good afternoon, everyone. Britt, good to see you, and hope that your day is going well too. The start of this work week. And you know, again, we've got a couple of stories that we want to really focus on, and some of these stories that we pick are stories that we encourage conversation about. And so if you hear something that we're talking about and you want to get that out there, even when the live stream is ended, of course, you know, mix it up in the comments with other folks that are watching. But certainly we would love to be able to interact with you as well. We are following another story out of Memphis. The National Guard and its representatives from several federal agencies are set to begin arriving in Memphis this week. Their mission is to stop violent crime by order of the U.S. government. Now, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee says the Memphis Safe Safe Task Force will consist of National Guard members, state troopers, and people from a dozen federal agencies like the FBI and Department of Homeland Security. They will provide specialized support for local law enforcement. Elected officials in both parties say their hope is that the task force can complement the work that Memphis police are already doing.
What I would like to see is our federal agents partnering with law enforcement, allowing our local law enforcement here lead the charge.
As many people have said, we're a little crime weary for many reasons. And so anything that you would do to complement the local police, I think is a fantastic move.
Now, there's been near constant debate over the past 2 weeks over whether more boots on the ground will actually deter crime and the precedent that this sets for future Guard deployments in U.S. cities. And speaking of issues with the federal government, a critical meeting today in the race to prevent a government shutdown tomorrow night. That clock is ticking. President Trump will sit down with the top four congressional leaders in both parties to see what he can get done with the situation and see what they're willing to do as well. House Republicans had already passed a short-term spending bill, but it needs votes from Democrats to succeed in the Senate. Democrats are pointing the finger at Republicans and holding out to reverse health care cuts and extend subsidies set to expire at the end of the year. Adding to the stakes, the White House alerted federal agencies that mass layoffs are coming in addition to the typical furloughs if the government does shut down. President Trump quoted as saying, "We are going to cut a lot of the people," and that it would be on a permanent basis, though he said that he would rather not. Democrats call all of it a scare tactic.
They're doing it anyway. There's no shutdown. They're laying off all these people.
It's a burden that can easily be avoided if the Democrats will just apply common sense and do the right thing.
In a shutdown, more than 2 million federal workers could see their paychecks stop. National parks would be forced to turn visitors away, and essential workers like air traffic controllers and TSA agents would be ordered to work without pay. So if you wonder how that would affect us here, of course, the Natchez Trace Parkway is a federal park. That would impact the Trace. It would impact the Vicksburg National Military Park. It would impact also, of course, federal agencies that we have here. We have the VA Center here in Jackson. We have others. We have Jackson's Medgar Wiley Evers International Airport, TSA agents there. So a government shutdown will affect your average Mississippi, and it will certainly do that. So we're going to keep following this and see what kind of negotiations or compromises, solutions that these lawmakers come up with as that clock is ticking. A couple other folks joining us today. Tanisha saying, "Good afternoon, everyone." Hey, Tanisha, how are you doing? And Gloria Larry Jackson, happy Monday to you as well. Looks like a Cowboys fan. I'll have to tell Howard Ballou about that. He's a huge Cowboys fan. We appreciate everybody joining us today. And like I said, if you have any other things that you'd like to share it in the comments. And of course, tomorrow we'll be back in here at 1 o'clock. At 2:30 today, we have our First Alert weather team that's going to be in here showing you what the weather is going to be looking like for this work week as we get rid of September, and we have the start of October. State Fair coming up later this week, starting toward the end of the week. That's exciting. So, it's definitely going to be something, extra things to do out there if you live here in the capital city or surrounding bedroom communities. Brit saying, "I hope it doesn't go furlough like it did a few years back." Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty hectic time. And again, when it comes to these kinds of things, we, of course, we sit back and we watch what happens. It seems like everybody feels like they're kind of powerless to do something about it, but hopefully cooler heads will prevail, and they'll be able to stop that, because the idea of people being furloughed and others working without pay is just you don't want to see that at all, and it affects the services that we have. So there's a lot there that we are hoping doesn't end up happening. But we appreciate you joining us today for WLBT Plus's Digital News Desk Update. I'm CJ LeMaster, your lead investigative reporter for WLBT and your host every day at 1 p.m. Before we let you go, we've got a word from our sponsor, Jackson Water. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
From Jackson Water, is it okay to pour fats, oils, and greases down the drain if I run hot water?
No!
What if I run the garbage disposal?
No!
How about if I use dish soap at the same time?
No!
Instead, hang on to a few containers to store and toss old cooking fat and grease once you're done. Jackson Water. Water for all the time.